I've moved on from Koh Lipe and I've moved on from Thailand. I'm still on an island. I'm on the island of Langkawi, but this is Malaysia. So I had to go through checking out of Thailand and checking into Malaysia, but it's fairly straightforward. It was the funniest kind of security coming in I think I've ever gone through. I got 2 bags and he asked me to open one of them and he just patted my clothes once and then went, yeah, that's fine. Didn't even look in my other one. So anyway, I'm staying at a place called Gecko Guest House, which is the cheapest place on booking.com, and it seems alright. It's a bit rough and ready. Check out the bed. Not getting up to much action in there. The woman seems lovely. The English woman that runs it. And there's bloody cats everywhere. I'm actually buzzing about being in Malaysia as soon as I arrived here, and I didn't particularly love this place last time. I've got a good feeling about it this time. One thing I am looking forward to is the food. Last time I was here, the food in Malaysia was absolutely fantastic, and for me, best food in the whole of Southeast Asia. The hostel is literally 2 or 3 minutes walk away from the beach. Let's go and have a look at the beach of Langkawi. Here we are then. As you can see, dark clouds are above. It's kind of trickling with rain, but it's not too bad. It's nice and cool actually. Now, last time I was here, just on the seafront, there was a Rasta bar, obviously. Gone into Google Maps, it's permanently closed. Well, I looked on Google Maps just to see exactly where the location is, and it doesn't say permanently closed, it says temporarily closed. Now I'm about to hit where Google Maps says it is, and I can see a bar that's open and I can hear reggae music. It's called the Roots Bar actually. Sounds open to me. This is actually the Kalut Bar, not the Roots Bar, but it does the same job. Playing nice chilled out music and cushions everywhere to sit on. Looks pretty nice. Don't think I'll be doing that just yet. Listen to that. That sounds bloody lovely, that does. Anyway, yeah, the Roots Bar looks like it has actually disappeared. It's according to Google Maps, it was somewhere around here. That's a shame. One of the things that's unique about Langkawi is it's a duty-free island. So everything's cheaper here, there's no tax on anything. And last time we were here, we went into this big duty-free shop and they had tons of like Cadbury's chocolate, lots of imports, and it was all very, very cheap. Right, let's take a look then. Look at these, not seen these in a while. Biscoff, Toblerone. Well, got some delicious options here. Tandoori chicken biryani, bloody hell. This is the area I'm staying in then, Pantai Chenang. It's one of the popular resorty type areas in Langkawi. It's a big island, Langkawi. I seem to remember last time it wasn't that easy to get around either, unless you hire a motorbike. I don't think there was any buses, so you have to get everywhere by taxis. Over here you have Starbucks and the Old Town White Coffee, which is a chain in Malaysia. And we have McDonald's there and Subway here, Pizza Hut, bloody hell, we've got it all. This is just a huge duty-free shop. I'm not sure whether it's all the same shop or whether it's a number of different shops. That's called the Zon and this is called Coco Valley. Anyway, let's go and have a look, see if we can get some cheap stuff. So it's all kitchenware. Oh, I can see chocolate. There we go. I'm going to have a bloody field day now. I've decided I am going to get the sack of salt and vinegar crisps, and I've also bought some of these, or I'm going to buy some of these. These are Dutch chocolates, and I once got them before years ago, and they're really nice. They're all different flavours, so that's them. Now I just need some crazy sweets. Just over here is a hostel called Bed Attitude, and now nearly booked it. It's supposed to be like the most social hostel in Langkawi. It certainly does look that way online. It looks pretty good actually, but it was quite expensive, and it was a 32-bed dorm. That kind of put me off a little bit. But people who had stayed there were saying that, you know, they never really left the hostel. They never went out to go drinking because there was no need. They have a license and it's cheap here as well. Yeah, just here. One Love, chill and hang out. Reggae bar. Heading down towards the next beach, and well, there's a pack of dogs over there. That's why I've crossed the road. How many? 3. They all look identical, to be honest, but yeah, they've just gone for someone who's cycled past, so I'm keeping that their bloody way. Maybe he's just a barker. Right, so this is Tenga Beach then. It's the one which is just south of where I'm staying. Last time I came on this beach, it was literally just filled with jellyfish on the actual beach. Huge ones as well. No sign of them this time. Seen a few starfish. Another one there. I walked to the other end of the beach and then couldn't find how to get off it. There was some work going on, and I was like, asked the guy, so how do I get like over to the road? And they sent me through this resort. I hope it does come out at the road. Oh yeah, there's a right turn. This has just grabbed my attention as I'm walking down the main road. Sure, I remember seeing this last time, but there was more to it last time. Just next to the abandoned fairground, I've found this cafe, which looks pretty amazing, to be honest. It's very nice. Check it out over here as well. And they do lots of durian stuff here as well. I'm getting closer to trying durian again. I didn't have any at all in Thailand or Laos, but I knew that I will come across it quite a lot in Malaysia. And last time I had durian, the best durian I had was in Malaysia. It's my first full day in Langkawi, and I've jumped in a grab, made my way to the area of Kuah. Now there's no buses on the island, so you can only move around by either bike or a taxi, so it's cost me £5 to get here. It's going to cost me the same going back, but I think everything I'm going to do today is free, so it shouldn't be too much of an expensive day. And I've gotten to drop me off in the town of Kuah before we head to the port, and there's a park next to the port as well, which is quite interesting. So that's what we're going to do today. But first, the Arts Cafe, some lovely coffee. Before we head down to the pier and the park, might as well have a little look around this area, Kuah. Don't think there's a great deal to look at. There's one or two pieces of street art from what I remember, but that's about it. Snozzy or Anina, I'm not exactly sure who the artist is. Maybe it's two artists. And there's another one here. This is pretty good. Just peeking over these shops here, this tower, it's a viewing tower. It's about 18 quid to go up. I was looking at it thinking it might be free. 18 chuffing quid. Not be doing that. Right, just over here, I've seen the words hawker centre. Now, hawker centres are places where you will get cheap street food. Hey, chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken, okay, so... okay, is it spicy? A little bit. Do you have anything that's not spicy? No spice, not spicy.
Dal.
Okay.
You can take fried chicken dal.
Do you know what? I'll go for it. I'll try some of this with rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to take away or?
I'll have it here. Yeah. What's it called again?
Papet.
Papet. Okay. And how much?
7.
7. Perfect. Thank you. I'd actually forgot about hawker centres. So I've just come in. I've got this. It's papet, I think she said it was, and it came to 7 ringgit, so about £1.40. She gave me double the amount of rice, but I told her to take some back. She said it's a little bit spicy, so let's see what a little bit spicy in Malaysia is like. It's really good. It is spicy. Creeps up on you. We'll see how we get on with this. Maybe I should have had some more rice after all. A little bit spicy, she said. Oh god, my mouth is on fire. Not really what I was hoping for breakfast, but there you go. Alright, so the first of the parks then. Don't think this one is too exciting, to be honest, but this will take me to the main park that I'm going to visit. You definitely don't want to get smoking in here. £2,000 fine for smoking in this park. £2,000 fine. Bloody hell. Who can afford that in Malaysia? I guess that's a deterrent. Sounds like a bloody werewolf. Well, I'm just approaching the park, and this park is filled with all kinds of wildlife. And look at this. Not even got close to it yet. Bloody hell. Is he going over? He is. Langkawi does like a good legend. All the mountains and the lakes, they all have legends associated with them. And right here, there's the Langkawi Legenda Park, where it explains some of the local legends. Now, it's free to get in. Last time I came here, it was a bit run down, to be honest. So either they've done it up, or it's going to be even more run down. But we are likely to see some interesting wildlife in here. So let's take a look at the Legenda Langkawi. Tanjong Chinchin. And that's all the information you're getting. So who knows what this represents. And this is Ayah Hangat. But there's no information about any of it. It just basically tells you the name. It doesn't tell you what it represents or anything about the legend. Now, this park was created in 1996, and it is a beautiful park. It's right on the seafront. Once you get over to the end of the park, it's right on the seafront, but there's no one here. And yeah, there's just no information about any of the things. All you have is the name. So there is some information about all of these that we've just seen. Why this wasn't at the beginning, I don't know. Basically, this represents a fierce battle between two giants, and the battle caused relatives and friends to take sides, and they went on to insult and slap each other, and then hurl cooking pots and cauldrons of boiling water amongst themselves. That's, I guess, what this is. And then the pots landed broken at a place called Belanga Pika, and the liquid poured from the broken pots onto the place now known as Kuah, which is where we are now. Where the water landed, a hot spring spouted, which is now known as Ayah Hangat, and created mangrove swamps. Full of anger, Matt Ryer took off the wedding ring and hurled it as far as he could, causing it to land at a place which became known as Tanjung Chinchin, Cape of the Ring. So that's the first thing we saw, the ring. So this was all to do with some legend about the battle between two giants. This tells the story of Dayang Buntin, who was a giant guardian spirit who kept watch over the islands of Langkawi. There's a really interesting story here because apparently some sailors came back and they disrespected the guardian spirit, and so she stirred up a tropical storm that unleashed its fury on the incoming fleet of sailors. But the story that I really like, it says, in another story, a prince once ate half-cooked rice during a wedding feast. He suffered indigestion and farted at two spots now known as Pulau Kentut Besar, which translates as Big Fart Island, and Pulau Kentut Kensil, which is Small Fart Island. Well, we have a choice now. 3 tunnels. So I'm going to go left first and see where this brings me. No idea what this is. There's some bizarre legends. I just read one about some woman who ate a snake because she believed it was the spirit of the rice gods. And yeah, and it just gets even crazier. She had a baby, and then all the plants started growing bigger and sprouting flowers that they'd never done before, and everything was really good until her baby was executed. It's like such a lovely story. The woman Masuri was wrongly accused of adultery and was killed, and as she died she said, as her blood touched the ground, that Langkawi would become cursed and barren for 7 generations. Shortly after, the land was attacked by Siamese and Chinese and became completely poor for 7 generations. Crazy, huh? Well, check this place out. This, I think, is the end of the park. The clock's actually telling the right time. So I guess this means we've reached the halfway point, because we've come down one side, reached here, and now I'm going to go over this way. I don't think there's as much to look at on that side. I've seen one person in the whole park. So it's hardly one of Langkawi's #1 tourist destinations. But it is nice, it's free. I haven't seen as much wildlife today as I did last time. Last time we saw monkeys and all kinds of crazy birds. I've seen a couple of interesting birds, a few monitor lizards, no monkeys. So yeah, it looks like even the wildlife's buggered off. I'm getting the same feeling about Langkawi as I did last time. I was kind of happy to arrive yesterday and I was a bit excited about it, but there's not a great deal to do unless you ride a motorbike. Girl in the hostel yesterday explained what she'd been up to, and she'd been to waterfalls, she's been to the mountain, and yeah, but you need to ride a motorbike and I don't, so I'm kind of restricted. There's no buses on the island, which is just crazy, so you can only get anywhere by taxi. Now it's cost me £5 to get over here. It's going to cost the same going back. Nothing that I've done here has cost any money, but at the same time, if this had cost me £10, I wouldn't have been too happy, to be honest. At least on this side you get a nice cool breeze. I've got to keep an eye on the weather, because yesterday it did hammer it down with rain, and it kind of looks like it might do that again today. Look at this, there's no one here. Looks like a nice beach as well. Oh, this is a thing. I don't know what it is. Just over here we have Eagle Point, and that's the main pier where you can get ferries to the mainland. And that's where I'm heading next. I need to find out how to get off this island. Last time I was here, we took a flight from here to Penang. But I don't want to do that this time because it's a little bit more expensive than I want to pay. There used to be ferries that would take you directly from here to Penang, but since COVID they stopped them and they've never started up again. So I've got a really interesting journey ahead of me. I've heard apparently to get from here to Penang, the cheap way but long way is to get a taxi from where I am to here, then a ferry from here to the mainland, then a bus to the train station, then a train to Butterworth, then a ferry across to Georgetown. So there's a lot that could go wrong. So that's going to be a bloody interesting day all in itself. Let's go over there and see if there's any timetables for the ferries. Just to make it more difficult, there is a timetable online, but from what I've heard from various travellers and blogs is that the ferries don't always leave. That's it for the Legenda Langkawi Park then. It's I'd say it's no more run down or maintained than it was the last time, to be honest. And it's free, so you can't complain too much. And yeah, it's a nice little stroll, I guess. The biggest monitor lizard I've seen today was out here. It wasn't actually in the park, it was just outside the park. And I've also just spotted my first monkey as well, in the same place. He's just disappeared around the corner. Right, he's just jumped back in here. We'll spot him. Yes, we are. Oh, there's a few. 1, 2, 3. That monkey's just gone down to get a plastic container. Maybe he's cleaning the river. He's a clever monkey. Oh, here we are, another water monitor lizard. Right, finished up at the beach bar. The sun has disappeared, as you can see, so I'm gonna have some food. And I've ended up in a Lebanese restaurant. I'm not really eating that much Malaysian food. I had kebab last night, but it was shit. So I'm hoping that this place is going to be better. It's a bit more authentic, this place, I think. So I've gone for the chicken cheese shawarma, which is £3, and the falafel sandwich, which is £2. So 2 wraps for £5. Get that in my belly. After I've eaten, I'm going to head to the Cinnamon Bar, which is just on the other side of the road over there. And yeah, it's a small little bar, but it's cheap. I'm going to have a couple of beers there, and then I'm going to walk to the One Love Reggae Bar, which is about 15 minutes walk away. Now I was a little bit off by going down there because I'd heard some reviews, not of the One Love Reggae Bar, but of the next bar along, where apparently there's like a local sport where some of the locals like beat up solo travellers. I don't know how often this happens or if it happens at all, but anyway, it doesn't happen in the One Love Bar. I've never heard of it happening there, so I'm going to go down there. That's right at the back of Bed Attitude Hostel. I think I might try and get in there as well. People who've stayed there said that there's absolutely no way they know who's staying there. They've got that many people staying there, you can just go in. So I'll give that a go, see what happens. The cinnamon bottle's full, so that's not good. So it looks like I'm going to head over to the reggae bar or the hostel. We'll see how I feel when I get there. It's about 15 minutes walk. That's a pain in the arse, to be honest. Hello. People more than happy to be on cam. Well, the walk to the reggae bar so far seems really good, to be honest. It's very full. And we've got some dancing transformers over here, so let's go and have a look at them. Quite lively around here. I'm hoping it's going to be like this all the way down to the reggae bar, which is tucked away around the corner of hostel. I don't know why I'm a little bit paranoid about this place. Shouldn't have read the Google Maps reviews of the other bar, not even this place, the one that's further on. I don't like the idea of tourist bashing being a sport. That seems a bit scary. What I need to see on my left hand side is a place called Red Tomato. When I'm there, I know that like it's literally just around the corner. And I don't want to like keep going too much further, but obviously I've got to come back as well, and everything will be closed, so the streets will be a lot darker. And there I am again. Bloody Google Maps putting this bloody thought in my head that I'm going to go to a bar and get beat up by bloody locals playing tourist bashing. So this bar is tucked away at the back of here basically, so I'm thinking it might be some dodgy little weird bar. But as I'm walking down the street, look at this. That's what you call bloody advertising. It's your hell. One Love. So let's see what the One Love reggae bar is all about. Oh, it's bloody empty. No one in. Well, this is just the outside, so. It is actually open till 2, so maybe it's a bit easier. Oh, no, it's completely empty. Oh, we'll have a jacket. Hi man. This is very nice. All very luminous. Well, it was pretty chilled out in the reggae bar, but there's hardly anyone in. And so I'm just having the one in there. I'm going to see now if I can get in the hostel. See what it's like in there. No idea what's going to happen. Maybe I'll just get in and they'll say, no, you can't come in, you're not staying here. Bugger off. But I can give it a go. Well, I got into the bed attitude then, no problem. It's pretty quiet to be honest. I was expecting it to be a bit livelier than what it were, but it is Sunday night, so maybe everyone's chilling. Got in alright, couldn't find my way out. The door I used to get in was locked, so I had to find another way and ask people, how'd you get out of this place? You know, this place that I'm supposed to be staying in. I'm going to head back towards my guest house now. Maybe stop for a beer at the Cinnamon Bar if it's got any tables left for me. But yeah, I'm going to turn the camera off now, so I'll see you tomorrow on my second full day in Langkawi.